Hey guys, it's Al from Total Garble, and as of writing this script, I'm pretty cranky. Not to the point of why daily ops killed Fallout levels of cranky. Also, big thank you to everyone who checked out that video and suffered through the god-awful audio. Even though it was disliked, it still does help boost the channel, and I do appreciate that. But that's enough shilling for now. While I'm cranky, I decided to tackle an issue that makes me even more frustrated than I already am, and it's called criticism. Personally, I love good constructive criticism, even if it isn't something that's always 100% nice. I know my audio and my videos is one of the biggest things I hope to fix in the future, because it's god awful. And that said, it does come up as one of the biggest issues with my channel. And it was pointed out to me by this comment in my Why Daily Ops Killed Fallout video. Now please don't harass this guy. I actually really enjoyed his comment. I got a good laugh out of it, and I really do appreciate the feedback. But that said, instead of telling this guy to bugger off, I took the second to laugh at myself. Because I know he's right, my audio is trash. That doesn't mean I hate every video I make, or I want to scrap it just because the audio sounds like nails on chalkboard at times. It just means that there's things about it and this channel I'm trying to grow that need work done. Now, take this same sentiment and apply it to things I enjoy that don't have me swearing at my crappy Asus laptop 24/7. I thoroughly enjoyed things from Star Wars to Halo to DC to Fallout, etc. You know it if you've seen the channel. But I'm not blind enough to think these IPs are without their fair share of bumps along the way. That said, not everyone is able to take a minute to criticize the things they like or realize that criticism isn't necessarily a bad thing. We become so ingrained into this absolute of brand loyalty that it's become the case of most people become dedicated to this way of thinking along the lines of Anakin Skywalker going full Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith, where if you aren't with me, then you're my enemy. They take criticism to things they enjoy as personal attacks to them and their personality, and that's honestly not what people are usually trying to do, at least people with a rationally thinking brain. Now, that's not to say there isn't blind hate out there for products by people who have never given those products the time of day, let alone tried them. That's equally just as rampant, and it's a topic for its own video. But for now, I want to focus on why blindly consuming product isn't healthy for anyone or the product itself, and why you should be open to critiquing and judging things fairly, even if you enjoy them. What I mean by this is you have every right to enjoy what you get out of something. That's your right, and taste is always subjective. However, you should be open to admitting if things have faults or if they can be improved upon. For example, I love Fallout New Vegas. It's a game I replay every few months or years depending on how I'm feeling, and I'll usually do the full playthrough with DLC. However, I'm not stubborn enough to admit that it's perfect. The graphics have aged kind of like milk, which for Fallout fans we usually don't mind, but to this day the game is riddled with bugs, broken quests, glitches, and my personal feelings that Caesar's Legion, though a cool faction, is very underutilized in the Legion playthrough, compared to the other factions you can side with. Do you see what I did? I can acknowledge that something I really enjoy has problems that to this day still aren't fixed or have a remaster, even though Skyrim can be remastered to the point where it's a meme on Alexa. That doesn't mean I want New Vegas to go down in the history as the worst game of all time, far from it. It just means that I wanted to hopefully look into these problems in the future and see that maybe they might need addressed or fixed if there is ever a remaster to be done, which there is money in that. Criticism allows us to take a look at ourselves and the things around us and become open to a discussion for what is done right, what we enjoy, but also what can be improved in the future. However, a lot of people nowadays have gone to accept the newest product of something as amazing, simply because it was either made by the same people who made it before, or it's a continuation of the thing they enjoyed before. The Empire in Star Wars was a continuation of the Republic, and though some groups sang its praises, others realized things went from bad to worse really fast. Now I know that's a fictional analogy, but that same sentiment feels like it applies to real-life products, where we just accept it because it's now the new best thing, even if it does things wrong or does things that are against what the original stood for. The main issue with accepting things as they are and not as what they could be is that it leads to, at best, mediocrity and at worst, outright trash. When you willingly accept the latest loot box, bug-ridden, lore-breaking sequel that comes along through the door, it gives companies and talentless creators the idea that they can get away with the bare minimum without putting in an ounce of effort just to squeeze you for every penny. Now that's not to say go ahead and blindlessly hate something, or worse, target the people for enjoying something you personally aren't a fan of, but honey attracts more flies than vinegar. I can easily say that The Rise of Skywalker is garbage, and anyone who likes it could count their IQ on one hand, joke by the way. But a better way to approach it would be, hey, I didn't like The Rise of Skywalker. But that's just because the film went in a direction I personally feel wasn't accurate to the lore or story of existing Star Wars. See the difference? It's fine to have a different opinion, and if you present it to these people and they still call you a terrible person and not a true Star Wars fan after trying to calmly level with them, then in the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, then you are lost. Criticism is often viewed as something bad, but honestly it's far from it. I feel like the world would be a somewhat better place if people could look at things and be willing to say, yeah, I like this, but it could have been done better. If butterflies stayed in that larval form and never took the time to cocoon and blossom, they wouldn't be the amazing, beautiful creatures we see them as. Same goes for the things we like, don't like, and even ourselves at the end of the day. But that's just a bunch of garble from your cranky neighborhood Al.